Hello and welcome back. This is Ravy joining you with Zastro, and
Hi.
right now we have Gypsy Band versus CVA. And this is going to be a match that entirely comes down to piloting skill because the teams brought exactly the same setup. It's the same setup we've been seeing a lot of this tournament with the two Sleipnirs, the Scimitar, and the three Merlins.
And these are both old 0-0 Sob holding alliances. CVA originally comes from, I believe, Amar role players, and they've lived in Providence forever. Gypsy Band is made up of Russian corps. I believe formerly they were in an alliance known as Rebellion, but they've been around a long time too. So these are
Mhm.
both very experienced pilots. Curious to
And
see which one's going to triumph with this mirror setup.
it is going to be very interesting to see. We're seeing ECM drones dropped by the CVA Sleipnirs. We haven't seen any. More ECM drones dropped by the Gypsy Band Sleipnirs. These teams apparently brought exactly the same setups.
And the Sleipnirs from CVA are charging across the field, trying to get range with um, re- the Gypsy Band Sleipnirs, and they're meeting in the middle right now.
We're going to see a lot of damage applied very quickly from these Sleipnirs. It's interesting to see, we're seeing tracking disruptors applied from Gypsy Band onto CVA and none back in return. It looks like Gypsy Band brought tracking disruptors likely on those Merlins. I think that's an excellent choice, especially in a mirror match like this. If you can reduce the tracking of those Sleipnirs against the frigates, it's going to help a lot.
Absolutely, and ECM is being applied across the board to the Gypsy Band ships, but I don't know if any of them are sticking.
Yeah, that's going to be the ECM drone, so they'll get occasional gems here and there. We're seeing a lot of damage being applied to Blaster Worm in his Sleipnir for Gypsy Band, but he's being repped up quite well. I think these teams are probably going to need to grab a hold of one of the Simmies if they want to be able to break these tanks.
Absolutely, both team Sleipnirs are right next to each other, supporting each other, while all the other ships are spinning around in circles on the outskirts.
It does look like, I'm not sure if the Simi got a jam from the ECM drones and Gypsy Band or whether or not they're just breaking through his tank, but Blaster Worm's shields are down very low now. He is still getting some reps here and there, but he's down to about 20% shield. Very, very close.
Getting a lucky break with the ECM jams could be the difference in cracking open one team's tank or the other here. So it
And
could come down to some random chance.
he's now tanked pretty much all the way back up by that Scimitar. These Sleipnirs have great tanks, so it's really going to be tough to break them. These ECM drones are going to be key for the fight going forward, and I'm just taking a look here. I'm not seeing a lot of ECCM, interesting, from either team.
We've seen a couple Claymores, a couple other command ships. Why does everyone prefer the Sleipnir over everything else?
Because the Sleipnir has no brakes. It is an amazing ship for the tournament. It does all the things you need to do. You can fit a
This
gang mod.
train has no brakes.
Yes. You can fit a gang mod on it. You can fit a lot of DPS. You can do 900 plus DPS. At the same time, it can go very fast, up to 1400 meters per second. And you can do have a huge tank. It's a ship that really does everything you need for the tournament, and for 16 points, it is a great value. It just
Well, what we just saw, Dr. Crom for EG Sleipnir broke off from the scrum in the middle and is chasing down the Scimitar for CVA, and he's on top of him now.
I think that's going to be an excellent choice. We'll see if that Scimitar is actively tanked. If he is, then he may be able to survive a little bit longer, but it's going to be tough for him to withstand all the damage from that Sleipnir.
And he's on top of him now. He's got him tackled. Let's see if he can burn through that tank.
We're seeing
He's
smart
laying on the
bombs
damage right
and
now.
an active shield tank from that Scimitar. He does likely have an ancillary shield booster, but he's still going down very fast. He's through armor into structure, and he'll be disappearing any second now.
Yep,
Yep.
and there he goes.
And that's likely going to be the turning point of this match. We're not seeing any damage at all at on the Gypsy Band Scimitar. So as long as they can keep tanking and just start picking off the opposing ships now, they're in great shape.
That's what we were talking about earlier with some of these setups. The logistics is such a linchpin to so many of them that once that logistics falls, the whole rest of the team goes with it.
It is indeed. You can mitigate that a lot by fitting active tanks on your ships. Like, as I think I just saw, yep, the CVA Sleipnirs do also have active tanks. It looks like we've got once again, more use of the ancillary shield booster. So they're going to continue tanking for a while.
We were talking about that earlier. That was one reason I liked PL setup. By not bringing the logistics, you're not giving your opponent that one linchpin ship to target to knock out your whole lineup. You've got a variety of different targets.
Yeah. What we're seeing from CVA right now is that because they fit ancillary shield boosters on their Sleipnirs, losing the logistics actually hasn't really slowed them down at all. At the moment, they're still tanking fine, but the problem is time is no longer on their side. Once they have run out of cap charges on that Sleipnir, he's going to start losing his tank, and they can't break through the Gypsy Band tank unless they take down that Scimitar.
So if you're CVA now, you know your logistics is gone. Gypsy Band's still at full strength. You're thinking you're probably going to lose. Do you break off and start popping Merlins and just going for any points that you can get?
In fact, I'd break off right for that Scimitar, which is what we're seeing. Xaver for CVA and the Merlin is right now tackling the Gypsy Band Scimitar, and we're seeing the Sleipnir of Solana, who's also the primary, burning right after it. So their job is going to be to try to catch that Scimitar, and if they can, they might be able to turn this match around.
That Scimitar's burning away very fast. He's not tackled. I don't think they're going to get him.
No, it's going to be difficult. I'm not sure what that Merlin had that caused him to lose the lock, or lose the tackle, but he was there for a second and not there anymore. And now with that Scimitar out, the Gypsy Band is once again in great shape.
Yep, there's still a bunch of ECM drones flying around the field, so could have gotten a lucky lock. I wasn't looking at him at the second. I don't know if he had drones on him. Maybe he just missed a tackle.
It looks like the booster for Solana has run out of charges because he's not boosting anymore, and you can see his tank disappearing fast. He's in through armor into structure. Oh, he got another boost there. He finished his reload, but it's probably going to be too little too late.
Yep, he's in armor. I don't think it's going to matter at this point. It's a cascade now for CVA. Has all the ships.
He's actually pulling back shield right now. That Ancillary shield booster is a great module. Solana was able to make it all the way through his reload of the booster and is now tanking once again in half structure.
So it's clearly the module of the 6-mans. Do you think the ASB is going to be as big of a deal from the 12-man?
I don't think it's going to be nearly as big of a deal. When you face twice the DPS, which is what you do in the 12-man,
they can burn right through the wrapping.
Yeah, they can just burn right through it. And because the tournament staff have banned the use of double ACBs, you can't just scale your tank up with the higher damage. The most tank you can have is the one Ancillary Shield booster plus the logistics repping you, which is what we see these teams using.
Yeah, and we were watching this Sleipnir with no logistics support, tanking all of the DPS of Gypsy Man. He finished his reload and he's coming back up.
But then...
never mind. Ooh, there he goes.
And there he goes, yeah. So with that, the damage is now going to be a lot lower applied to Gypsy Band, and it looks like Gypsy is going to be in a great spot.
Yeah, it's going to be another 50-0 slam dunk, which, I mean, at this point, to prevent a 50-0 slam dunk, like I was saying a minute ago, should they just start popping Merlins to get something?
At this point, if they can get a hold of one, which I'm seeing some damage applied to one of the Merlins, if they can get a hold of one, it's definitely a great idea. But as long as those Merlins are within range of the logistics, I don't think they're going to get a break, and Merlins have great tanks for that resistance bonus.
They really are the #1 frigate right now. Everyone loves their Merlins.
Yeah,
they've replaced the old Rifter as the #1 frigate.
The double whammy of having the buff that Hybrids got a couple patches ago, and the buff that some of the Tech 1 frigates got a couple patches ago, have made the Merlins extremely powerful ships. And they only cost 2 points this tournament. Last tournament, they would have cost 3. So all those combined means that they're much, much better for the tournament than they were last year.
I love Tech 1 frigates, so the more Tech 1 frigates you got out there, the happier I am.
Yeah. Tech 1 frigates are great, and I love seeing assault frigs too. Those kind of frigate battles are always great to watch.
So it's just that last Sleipnir from CVA with his Ancillary Shield booster tanking the entire Gypsy Band team. You know, it's taking so long to knock down these teams. Time becomes a consideration. If that Ancillary Shield booster can keep you alive for several minutes, they might be able to deny Gypsy Band the 50-point win here.
It is very possible. I don't think they're going to be able to keep the Sleipnir alive for that time, but they may be able to keep him alive long enough that then if those Merlins burn to the edge of the arena in different directions, that some of them can survive. And if you deny points in this format, it's a crippling blow to the other team. Points are very, very important.
Points are the difference because we're going to see so many 50-0 slam dunks. We've already seen so many that, especially when it gets to this point, once you know that you cannot win, it becomes a point battle. Just save the points.
Yep, and that's what we're going to be seeing now is these Merlins for CVA running away, trying to deny the points. Although at the moment, it looks like one of the Merlins just got caught. He's surrounded by drones and webbed, and he'll be going down very quickly. As great as Merlins are, they cannot hold up to the kind of autocannon DPS that a Sleipnir can do.
Nope, but the Merlins are much faster.
Yes.
They have 50 seconds to try to skirt around the edges of the arena, and they are all spread out and split up right now. Hopefully they can avoid boundary violations as they run.
So that's one Merlin down and 30 seconds for the last two Merlins to try to survive. Honestly, I think that at least one of them is going to survive. There's no way that they're both going to get knocked out before the end of this match. It's only going to be denying either 4 or 2 points, but it's still something.
I
Plus, they
think
get to
that we're
keep their
going to
shit.
see 4 and 2 points make a difference in who advances to the group stages.
Yeah. If Gypsy Band wins their match next weekend, they're going through no matter what. When you get 2 wins, you're guaranteed through. But if Gypsy doesn't win their next match, then these 2 points could be the difference that knocks them out.
And with 10 seconds to go, I think 2 of those CVA Merlins are going to make it.
Oh, there goes one of them down, actually. Right before the match ended.
Right in the nick of time. And that'll do it. We are out of time.
So good job to Gypsy Band, a convincing victory against a mirror match opponent, doing all the little things right to put themselves over the top.
Yep. I don't know if that second Merlin kill got in before the time was over. We'll talk to the judges and see what they think. But that does it for Ravy and I. After a short break, we will be back with Michael Bolton and Laz. So see you guys in a little while.